When history writes its heroes, it usually celebrates kings, warriors and inventors. But the real survivors of civilization often had roots, literally. Among them is one crop that thrived where others died, fed millions through drought and famine, and somehow made the soil richer every single year. For over 4,000 years, it's been quietly rewriting the rules of survival farming. Today, we know it as the lablab bean, the unsung agricultural marvel that once nourished empires from Africa to Asia and could still save our soils today. The story of the lablab bean begins in East Africa thousands of years ago. This wasn't lush farmland. We're talking about dry, exhausted soils where most crops barely survived. Yet this hardy climbing legume didn't just live, it thrived. Ancient farmers noticed something strange. Wherever they grew lablab, the next season's crops, whether millet, sorghum or barley, came up greener, stronger and heavier. These early farmers didn't understand the science behind it. But they knew one thing. This bean made dead soil come alive again. The secret, we later learned, lies underground. Lablab roots form tiny nodules that host nitrogen-fixing bacteria, living factories that pull nitrogen straight out of the air and convert it into plant food. It's nature's version of free fertilizer. While other crops strip the earth bare, lablab restores it, turning poor soils into fertile ground for generations. Long before the concept of sustainability existed, ancient farmers were already practicing it. They used lablab not only for food, but as a living tool to repair the land. They'd plant it between cereal crops or let it climb grain stalks like natural scaffolding. The vines shaded the soil, reducing water loss. The fallen leaves decomposed into rich organic matter. And after harvest, farmers would plough the vines and roots back into the earth, a green manure system that kept their land fertile year after year. This wasn't a small-scale trick. It was honestly the backbone of survival in places with fragile ecosystems. From the African highlands to the dry plains of India, lablab's partnership with human ingenuity helped communities withstand drought, poor soil, and unpredictable seasons. It wasn't just food, it was ecological insurance. Lablab is a triple threat. The young pods are edible as tender vegetables, while the mature beans can be dried and stored for years, crucial during times of famine. The leaves serve as livestock fodder when pastures fail, keeping animals alive through dry seasons. That kind of versatility meant it wasn't just a plant, it was a survival system. And when we talk survival, we're talking long-term strategy. In many ancient farming systems, lablab was planted during off-seasons or alongside grains. In India, it often followed rice harvests, acting as a cover crop that protected and replenished the soil between growing cycles. In Africa, it played a key role in shifting cultivation, restoring land after cycles of grain production. Each season, the soil didn't weaken. It strengthened. That was, well, truly revolutionary. Farming that gave back instead of taking away. Fast forward to today. We've got advanced fertilizers, precision agriculture, and satellite-guided tractors. Yet our soils are, honestly, collapsing under chemical overuse and erosion. Lablab, meanwhile, is still quietly doing what it always did, rebuilding the earth naturally. Modern gardeners and survival farmers are, rediscovering this ancient powerhouse. It's drought-tolerant once established, thrives in sandy or clay soils, and doesn't mind a little acidity. For anyone managing tough, compacted or overused land, lablab can serve as both healer and harvest. Plant it in spring, let it climb and cover the ground through summer, and by fall it will have transformed your soil structure. The deep roots open up compacted layers, improving water flow. The vines smother weeds. When cut down before frost, the decaying biomass becomes nutrient-packed mulch, feeding worms and microbes all winter. Even better, in tropical or warm regions, lablab can grow year-round as a living mulch or companion crop. Pair it with tall plants like corn, sunflowers or sorghum, and it'll climb naturally, enriching the soil as it grows. The same trick ancient farmers used can now help modern gardeners cut fertilizer costs to zero. Here's the irony. In a world addicted to synthetic fertilizers, lablab's biology outperforms them. Chemical fertilizers deliver a quick shot of nutrients, but they don't build long-term soil health. They often degrade it. Lablab does the opposite, feeding the soil ecosystem itself. Its nitrogen-rich residues balance carbon levels, feeding the microscopic workers that keep soils alive. It's also a champion for biodiversity. The dense foliage shelters beneficial insects that prey on pests, reducing the need for chemical pesticides. Its blossoms attract pollinators, boosting yields in nearby crops. In short, it's a one-plant ecosystem. Even in the chaos of World War II, when food shortages pushed nations to explore new crops, legumes like lablab became critical for sustaining local food supplies. They offered protein, resilience and fertility without dependency on industrial inputs. Lessons that still ring true in our unstable climate era. If you're serious about restoring your soil naturally, lablab isn't just historical trivia. It's a practical tool. Here's how to do it the ancient way. Plant it after your main harvest or during the growing season as a companion. Let it climb, cover and protect your soil. When the season ends, chop it down and mix the residue back into the ground. Over time, you'll notice richer soil, better moisture retention, fewer weeds, and honestly, just healthier plant growth. It's simple, effective, and time-tested. Proof, really, that the solutions we need often already exist in our past. The lablab bean isn't a miracle of modern science. It's a gift from ancient wisdom, a living reminder that real sustainability means giving back to the land that feeds you. From the ancient fields of Africa to the terraces of India, this crop quietly kept civilizations alive for over 4,000 years. And now, as we face climate instability and soil decline, it's making a comeback, not as a relic, but as a roadmap. A way to heal the ground beneath our feet using nature's own logic. When you plant lablab, you're not just growing food. You're reviving an ancient partnership between humans and the earth, one that stood the test of time, war and weather. You're taking part in a 4,000-year-old cycle of restoration. That's not just farming, that's legacy. If you enjoyed this deep dive into forgotten agricultural wisdom and the incredible story of the lablab bean, subscribe to HistoryHQ for more powerful stories from the past that can reshape the way we live today. Share this episode with someone who believes history is just about battles and kings, because sometimes the real empires were built one humble seed at a time.